It's that time. It's time to talk about college football once again. And your boys, C&T Talking Tigers, we back. We back. So let's get into the Tiger Den. Let's go.
This is C&T Talking Tigers, where talking Auburn football is what we do. Welcome to the Tiger Den.
And you are now in the Tiger Den. We are once again back for a new season, a new day. We are back. C&T Talking Tigers. I'm your man Courtney Chandler. I'm joined with my brother Tony Milford. Man, it's been a minute.
Did you miss me?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Missed you. And we missed y'all. Auburn, do y'all smell that? That's football season. It's football season, the best season of the year.
It's a holiday. It's a holiday.
Tastes like grass.
Y'all
good. Smell it in the air. I can taste
it. I can smell the trees on Toomer as we speak. I can imagine the toilet tissue. The imagery is so beautiful right now. Let me stop by get emotional for real. But listen, we thank y'all so much for being with us today. Whenever you checking out this show, hey, you already know what to do. You got to follow us on social media. You see the ticker there below, C&T Talking Tigers, Instagram and on Twitter. Make sure you check us out because we want y'all to continue to connect with us this season because it's gonna be a lot of fun. And we started off the season on fire because look, we didn't want to hold nothing back for y'all. We wanted to get straight into it, and we brought some family along because we might as well call them family because they've been on a couple times and they kinfolks. They what we call kinfolks. So without further ado, yes sir. Let's go ahead and bring these boys in, Tony.
Hey everybody. Let's welcome your friends and ours, Bubba and the old man.
What's up, Kim?
What's up, Kim?
Woo!
Great to be back, man.
Man, it's so beautiful to be back. I'm so happy to see y'all. Y'all don't know what. Y'all don't know how happy I am to see my kinfolk. Man, I feel like we've been just talking back and forth, but now we get to see everybody in person. And we get to talk about our team.
Less than 48 hours away from kickoff.
And it can't get here fast enough.
I'm excited, man.
It literally cannot get here fast enough. Hey, so listen, we're not gonna hold y'all. We are not going to delay the time. We're gonna get right into this show. Because we know that's what y'all want to do. That's what y'all want to hear us talk about. So we're not going to delay the time any longer. So, hey, we already know the season starts this Saturday. And it's been so much that's happened on the plains since we last talked. It's been a lot of good things. It's been a lot of crazy stuff. Let's be honest. And we're going to talk about it all. But we first got to just talk about this depth chart that's going to be leading the season, starting up the season for the new year. I'm going to pull it up real quick for y'all here so that way we can kind of see what we're working with for the new season. Man, while I'm pulling this up, man, Bubba and the old man, that's how y'all been, just talk about what y'all been talking about on, y'all platform on YouTube there. Because, I know y'all, pop in every now and then and telling straight how it is. So man, what y'all been up to?
Man, just pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, just trying to correspond work with off time. I mean, we are in the process of building my daughter a house, building us a house, building Bubba a house on the land out here, and man, just finding time is horrible.
Yeah, so we pretty much just been doing news content, come in, tell it, And I try and do sit down videos as much as possible. Don't hold any punches, and that's what
we
everybody
do.
watches us for. We tell it straight how it is.
From what we think.
We're completely independent. So
That's
we don't know
good,
if that
man.
was the actual question, but
That's the best way we could answer it.
yeah.
I got you. Hey, off air, I ain't gonna lie. We was joking a little bit. The last time or the first time we was on. I mean, I think we broke records for our show. And we were talking about for everybody that don't who haven't seen the first time Bub and the Old Man came on the show. I mean, it was a great show and it was hilarious. And we was talking
Oh
about
man,
Tony
it's one of
bringing
the
out
best
that
shows
belt.
me and Bubba ever done.
Yeah.
Yes,
It was
we
it's
still talk
being
about it.
on here.
That show there is by far one of the funniest shows we had. And the funniest part was Tony taking off his belt, shredding it over.
Trying to kill me.
He
Oh
got Bubba
man, where'd
there.
you go?
He yeah,
He
Tony is
don't want any
actually
problems.
he uh
He don't want any problems with me.
listen, nah, Bubba, I can't save you from no butt whipping this. Listen, I said you a little bit last time. I was like, now Tony, you can't be doing that. I guess this they first time coming on. And
Well,
Tony, you
now
know,
we family, man.
you right, we
We
family.
family. He a grown man now too.
Yeah, I'm officially a grown man. I wasn't grown last time. I'm grown now. I ain't scared no more.
Uh-uh. No,
He don't want the problem.
I hate I hate to see what happens if y'all run into each other at Auburn game.
I'm gonna run the other way. That's what's gonna happen.
Like my granddaddy used to tell me, don't let that alligator mouth overload that candy ass.
Right.
What does that even mean, man? Man,
Man, I think Tony got in a bad area. Everybody he's driving, trying to get back
Yeah.
home from Greenville. So just work with us. He's working to try to get in some good spots. He's in a couple bad areas, but we gonna kind of keep it moving. And then I have Tony jump in, but we want to talk about this depth chart. I got it pulled up now. One of the people who I got it pulled up from the War Report. Shout out to y'all because I think we all listen to the War Report and they helped me out this
Oh
giving
yeah.
us over that depth chart. So shout out to the
yeah,
War Report, Mike G, Ike Jones, B
they
Will,
helped us get
and
started.
Caesar.
Yeah.
And
Mike G dropped some knowledge on us, man.
Oh yeah,
Helped us make things better so we can progress.
yep. He gave us a lot of advice when we first got started.
Yeah.
He's a real cool dude. All
yeah,
them dudes over there
yeah,
real cool.
Yeah. Very
real
nice,
cool.
very nice.
And War Report, y'all always got a welcome to come on the show. Hey, y'all always
Oh
got
yeah,
a
no
welcome
doubt.
to come on this show. In fact,
No doubt.
I reached out, so I want y'all to come on. So let's chop it up. Let's make it happen this season. All right, there go Tony. He's back. Tony, you back with us, man. We glad to have you back.
That's not what it's for.
We got to have you back, Tony.
Oh man, I'm about to park, man. I'm having the most technical of difficulties at the moment. That's okay. I'm finna
While you're parking, we'll go ahead and get started into this depth chart here. We start with the offense. We got, of course, TJ Finley. He is the QB1, and behind him is Robbie Ashford. We have running back Tank Bixby, and then behind him is Jacquez Hunter. Tight end John Shane Shanker, and behind him is Luke Deal. Wide receiver X, Cedric Jackson, also known as Ced. Then behind him is the freshman Camden Brown. Wide receiver H, Tavares Dawson. Behind him is Javarius Johnson. And wide receiver Z, Malcolm Johnson Jr. And then behind him is Coy Moore, the transfer from LSU. At left tackle, we got Killian Zaire. Behind him is Brendan Coffey. Left guard is Brandon Council. Behind him is Jeremiah Wright, who actually just switched back to offense recently. Center, Tate Johnson. That's a different name for many of us.
Yeah.
Normally Nick
Get the
Rum.
ball though.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Interested to see how he plays. And behind him is Janelle Irvin. Right guard, we got Keandre Jones. Then we have Cameron Stutz behind him. And then right tackle, Austin Troxel, Alex Jackson behind him. Defense, of course, on the rush, we start off with Mr. Derek Hall. And behind him is Mr. Dylan Brooks. Defensive end, Kobe Wooden. And behind him, we have Morris Joseph Jr., the transfer, I believe, from Memphis, if I'm not mistaken. Nose tackle, Jason Jones. And then behind him, we have Marquise Burks. Defensive tackle, Marcus Harris. And behind him, we have the young man, the top JUCO prospect, Mr. Jeffrey Imba. Stud. Yes. Yeah. Thanos. We're gonna talk about Thanos tonight. Iku Leota. He is at stud. Marcus Brad is behind him. Middle linebacker, Owen Papo, Wesley Steiner behind him. The other linebacker position, Cam Riley, Eugene Asante is behind him. Got cornerback, Nehemiah Pritchett, I'm sorry, and Keontae Scott behind him. Jalen Simpson is at the other cornerback position. DJ James is behind him. Safety, Zion Puckett. Craig McDonald, the transfer from Iowa State, is behind him. And then last, but certainly not least, the other safety is Donovan Kaufman, and Caden Bridges is behind him. So, gentlemen, and then we lost Tony again, but he's going to pop back up. But just after hearing, that's the players that we, discussed or we just named. Who is the impact player you all may be looking at this season to make maybe a major impact for the Tigers this year?
I kind of got one I got one that's like I think it could happen, and then I have one that is more likely it's gonna happen.
All right.
I think by game 5, Corey Moore takes over.
Yeah, I like that kid a lot. I like Malcolm Johnson too.
I do too, but I think Corey Moore is just
step.
yeah, Corey Moore is just that different athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once the more he dives into the playbook and gets used to it, you're going to see him start to separate himself.
And I think it's like Malcolm Johnson is probably the better athlete, but Coy Moore having that veteran mindset playing in LSU where they're known for their wide receiver production. He kind of just got lost in the fold. He's going to come over here. And in that Z spot where they're going to be having him going on a lot of deep posts coming across the middle of the field, he reminds me a lot of Jarvis Landry.
Yeah.
And that route running ability. He may not get a ton of separation, but he's got secure hands and stuff like that. But my impact player is a group of players, and it's the offensive line. That veteran offensive line is what Auburn has had in those great years that we've had. None of them may be big-time NFL prospects, but in 2010 we didn't have any either. But, Justin Pugh and guys like that, or Ryan Pugh, guys like that who are just veterans.
Calm down, Bubba, calm down.
And Tate Johnson at
slow down a minute. We know you ain't seen Courtney in a minute. Just
Tate Johnson is young, but I believe surrounded by the two 340-pound right guards who are going to be switching in and out, Cam Stutz and Keandre Jones. Yeah, I think they'll do fine.
I mean, my solid impact player for the year, we all know him. We all love him. He wears number 4. His name is Tank Bigsby. We got to unleash this man if we are going to be successful. Quit holding him back and let him run.
24, 25 attempts a game if we have to. I like TJ. TJ's solid, but we have to have that. That's why I brought up the offensive line. We have to have that run game. That run game is what's going to help TJ become this great player.
Yes.
We have a great backfield, and we have to take as much pressure off TJ as possible.
And we all know TJ Finley, that's Tony's guy.
Oh, yeah. That's your guy, Tony. TJ Finley.
Man, I don't even know. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Oh,
It's on
great,
you, Tony.
great.
yeah, we got you.
All right, man. Here we go. So I know last I barely heard, I think we were talking about the depth chart, and I know we got TJ QB1, and I guess we and TJ we trust. We just got to go with what Harsin put out there, I suppose.
Yeah,
Are you guys still with me?
Yeah, we with you.
yeah,
Okay.
We'll go ahead and bring him back
Uh,
on.
yeah. I'm guessing, man. That guy, he must have really worked hard to get to where he wanted to be, and coaches and team put him out there. Hey, I guess he's the best guy for the job, man. With Robbie as his backup, that's going to be interesting. I'm quite sure y'all touched on the talented backfield duo that hadn't changed. Tank and Jarquez. I'm looking forward to seeing those guys rumble again.
Yep.
Interesting to see what the wide receivers do this year. With the new wide receiver coach, I think we should see some vast improvement from the wide receivers. As long as the quarterback can do his job, and of course the most important position on the team is the offensive line. And
yeah,
Yep. That's
hopefully another year with coaching, another year of playing. Hopefully they gotten better. One thing I'll say about our offensive line, I don't like how heavy of a presence the seniors are and the ones and the twos. I mean that's a good thing, but then you look down the depth chart. There's a lot of seniors in that 10. I'm looking at one, two,
yeah,
3, 5, 6, 7 guys that won't be back next year out of the 10 two deep linemen. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I'm not too crazy about that, but hopefully these guys can gel together and put something together. Um, like I said, I like the experience on the offensive line, but these are the same guys that were blocking for us last year too. So I mean,
yeah,
but like I said, I'm excited to see the development of the wide receivers. Can definitely count on our tight ends. I feel like we're in good shape with our tight ends with JSS and Luke Deal. Um,
And
the
3 and 4
quarterback,
Fromm and Frazier.
yeah, man. Like I said, the quarterback and the offensive line is going to be key to the offense moving forward. Um, you guys went over the defense.
you can
Excited
start
about
it
those.
off, and we can go to Courtney. Courtney hadn't listed his offensive players yet.
So I'm
Good,
mine
look, catching up.
is mine is pretty simple. I kind of agree. I think Unleash Tank and Jarquez. If you can, if both of them, we can have, one have 1,000 yard and one, inching close to that 1,000 yard season. I think we'll be in really good shape. And um, you know, two other the offensive line. I think wherever the offensive line go, I think that's where our team will go. I think we're good on receivers. I think we've kind of answered that question of we have receivers, but I think the biggest impact we're gonna see this season is gonna come from the offensive line and the running backs. And you heard Tank this year. He's looking for a monster year. So I mean, let him
Yeah,
loose. I mean, hey, give him the ball early and often. Don't it's especially when he has that momentum. I think um, the craziness that happened in South Carolina at the end of the game. I think where we messed up was when we took the ball out of Tank hand, and that kind of cost us because
yeah,
that he was on fire that game. He probably could have had 200 yards that entire game. And when you take the ball out of his hands, and it just changed everything. And you got TJ throwing 30, 40 times a game. I just don't think that's a good
yeah.
recipe for our
You
season.
can't have that big man throwing the ball like that.
No,
Yeah,
no. With how
especially
he
when
was.
he, didn't have a lot of experience. He's coming in for Bo, who got
Hey,
injured.
hey, one thing about it, we ain't never won like that.
Yeah,
Mm. No.
Never, never,
Yeah,
never. So I hope we continue run game, offensive line, and we can stay consistent with that. I think we'll I think we'll have a successful season. One other player I want to mention that I know is getting a lot of buzz, and then we'll go to defense. Camden Brown is going to be a
Oh,
player to watch
Yeah,
out for this year.
yeah.
I've heard a lot of reports that Camden Brown is spectacular. Like this dude is a monster. So I am very, very interested to see what Camden Brown does on the field this season. If we're talking about one wide receiver that's going to have an impact. But yeah, that's my impact. Let's hit the defense. Who y'all think is gonna have the biggest impact on the defensive side of the ball?
Iku Leota.
you got Echo?
I got Iku Leota because what's going to happen is they're going to let them edges, they're going to let them run up there, and it's going to allow Iku to eat.
Yeah.
I look for Iku to be double digit sacks this year.
They're gonna be
Tackles for loss. I think Iku's going to be a beast.
yeah, there's gonna be so much attention paid to Derek Hall and Colby Wooden and obviously big Jason Jones in the middle and Marcus Harris. It's gonna Echo's gonna be getting blocked one on one. And if he
Yeah.
ain't getting blocked one on one, Marcus Harris getting blocked one on one. And if
Right.
he's not getting blocked one on one,
Somebody else is.
And then Thanos is getting thrown in there. I mean, he run over anybody. So I mean, Derek Hall, obviously all SEC talent, first, second, maybe third round pick in the draft. You know, you got Echo on the other side. He's gonna eat. But I got Owen Papo. I think he's key to the defense this year.
Yeah, I like that. I like Owen. I like Owen. Tony, what about you, man?
Oh man, I'm Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at a combination of guys, man. I'm looking at I'm looking at the pass rush with Derek Hall and Kobe Wooden. Because if we don't get pressure, nothing good has happened with no pressure. But it's going to be bookend with me with that front, with those two on the ends, then on the back end with Jalen Simpson and Nehemiah Pritchett. Man, I think we can be we're really stout, in man coverage with those two on the island and Kobe and Derek Hall rushing the pass. I'm looking. That's why I'm looking for us to have success with that defense, man.
Yep.
I'm gonna go a
I
little
like
bit
it.
different. I'm gonna go with Jeffrey Ember. I think Jeffrey Ember is gonna really surprise a lot of people this season. We've heard him, we've seen what he can do in JUCO level, and I think he's gonna really shock a lot of people. I mean, he ain't named Thanos for no reason. I mean, this dude is
Yeah.
huge, fast, he can break through. Um, so I like Jeffrey Ember, and I also like Jason Jones as well. I think that those two combinations, and then you got Derek Hall and Iku at the edge. I think it's a recipe for disaster for any offense that comes in Jordan
Hey,
Hare.
you know what? Brother, you really own something with that, man. Because I'm gonna tell you, uh, that's one thing we've been lacking. That we lacked, probably, yeah, definitely last year, was that interior rush presence that we had with Derek Brown, that we had with Nick Fairley. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to avoid. It's kind of easy to avoid edge rushes because you can step up in the pocket. You know what I'm saying, to avoid them. But when it's coming right up your face and there's no pocket to step into, that's a hard pill to swallow. You know what I
Yep.
mean? On third down, when you can't set your feet and step up because it's somebody coming right down the barrel and pushing somebody dead into your lap. So you hit on something in, man. If Jason Jones and Thanos can do their job and be who we think they are, man, that would make the defense. It would change the look of our defense by leaps and bounds.
I
You hit
I
on
agree
something
with you
big.
110%, Tony. The last time we saw Auburn's defense play like that was the Auburn game last year.
The Iron Bowl.
Yeah, the Iron Bowl. I'm sorry, I said the Auburn game. The Iron Bowl. There was no quit from the time of the first whistle to the last whistle. That defense wasn't quitting.
Yeah. When you think of Auburn, you think of running game, dominant running backs, and a dominant defensive line. Like you said, Derek
Yep.
Brown, Nick Fairley,
Yeah,
guys like that. That's who Auburn is by nature. Dominant defense. And
and I've said this in the past, and it hasn't ever offended anybody. We need that one thug right in the center of the offensive line. We had it with Nick Fairley. You got to have that one dude that's like, I don't care. I'm gonna take the penalty, but he's gonna be hurt when he gets up.
Mhm.
That's what we need. We ain't had that.
no, we haven't had it since Derek Brown left.
No, yeah, we had it with him too.
We haven't had it since he left. Quan, who couldn't do it. Tony Fair did his best, but he just
He
wasn't
was too
talented enough.
big.
Jason Jones seems kind of like that dude, though.
Yeah, him and Emma.
Yeah, but the only thing with him is he seems real nice. He might be too
Yeah,
nice.
but see, everybody said that about Dick Buckus too. But when the helmet went on, it switch flipped.
Yeah. And he can play anywhere. You can put
Right.
Jeffrey Mbot anywhere along the defensive line. He can play 5 tech. He can slide down 3 tech, play over the nose. Him and Colby Wooden are very similar players. Jeffrey Mbot, he got a lot of get off the ball too. He fires off quick. Once we get him down technically,
Didn't Fairley and the kid from Nebraska, didn't they both go to the Detroit Lions and play on that defensive line?
and Dominican Sue,
Yeah,
Yep, they did.
man, you had two thugs on that line. You had two pit bulls coming at you.
Right.
that's when we're at our best. Where'd Tony go?
He
He's
having
back.
technical difficulties.
There you go.
Where'd
Man,
he go, man?
I can't wait for next week's episode.
Why you keep running off like that?
Look, hey, let me tell you what Bubba had said before this. Bubba said he outrun you and your trashy ass car.
Oh
I
man,
didn't say
bro, really? We'll go buy me a belt.
I didn't say that. That doesn't sound
Who you gonna believe, Tony?
too corny for something I could have said. But I did say you didn't want no problems with me. That's why you keep leaving.
Oh, oh, oh.
Running off.
He wants the smoke.
Man,
What is
Cody, he wants the smoke.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch my own show just to see what smart stuff Bubba said.
You gotta hear the
I'm
sound
gonna have to go
effect.
back and watch my own show.
Yeah.
Outside of Fever Tiger Pride, can y'all see that back there? Yeah.
Heck
It's
yeah.
one of the best. Play.
Oh man. Oh,
So look, I really think, man, if our offensive line and our quarterback can just be better than they were last year, on top of the running game, with the defense we already have, I think we can have a really successful season, man. What you guys think? I know I probably missed all
I'm
that.
with you.
O line needs to take one step forward. We're good.
They need to quit taking the one step forward and two backward.
We are better. We are either equal than or better 10 of the teams on our schedule.
Look at that. Look at that.
Beautiful.
What's up, Aubrey?
Oh.
Is that the one that we always went to?
Get that off the stream. We do not approve of that animal.
No. They can't even run fast, man.
Hey, so is anybody else going to be disappointed if we don't if Mercer scores anything over 10 points?
No. No.
I mean, like,
Man, I remember Georgia State last year.
I will believe it when I see it. Us go out and shut out a team like that. We
I
can't
was
ever do
I
it.
was trying not to
I
say
remember Tony's
that.
name was Bowl Game.
Oh yeah, the bowl game, Tony.
Right.
We remember that too. So
The bowl game. We're not gonna even name it.
No, that's
No,
Tony's
we
name
hey,
was Bowl Game.
we're not gonna talk about the past. We're not gonna be negative. We're just gonna look. We're just gonna move forward. We're not gonna talk about what happened.
Well,
Well,
see,
that's
that's
that.
what I'm saying. I'm not going to be overly upset if they score 17, 24 points.
man, it's like
Yeah.
it's hard to
I'll
have
be.
high expectations as an Auburn fan.
Right now. But I got faith that Harson's going to get it figured out. I mean, I
Yeah.
keep reading that he's moving stuff that direction with the hill, making sure that nothing can come back in the future and hurt us as
Yeah,
Auburn.
he ain't doing nothing shady
I
right
mean,
now.
you got Miami, that Ruiz guy down there talking. I won't be outbid.
Hmm.
You just asking the NCAA to come down and look at what you're doing.
Right.
You're
Yeah,
going on national radio, television. I won't be outbid if Miami wants a player. Well, now you've done implicated Miami
yeah,
Exactly.
in what
because
you're doing.
even though the recruiting right now isn't good, it's going to slowly improve
With
because
every win, it's going to improve. And we've
Hmm.
already got a surprise commit with what was his name, the Sorry,
the Quavius story.
the
You
Quavius
got the Quaver
Sorry.
Sword.
That's
You
a
got
pickup
Jeremiah
at Miami.
Cobb.
That's one
Yeah.
Miami thought they had in the bag.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's. I know it
You
doesn't
got.
look good right now, but we're doing it the right way. We're not going to go down and no NCAA investigations or anything because Harsin is straightforward, does everything right, and it's boring right now. But
But he just hired a man to be over nothing but the NIL collective,
I would rather have this than Jeremy Pruitt.
handing
Jeremy
out
Pruitt could
handing
go
out
down
Happy Meals.
2 years.
Right. I'd rather
It's
have this
he doesn't.
than what we saw during the summer between two other coaches in the SEC
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
talking about
calling each other
NIL.
out every other day.
yeah.
Right. And one then gets up and admits, I wish we just went back to how it used to be with play players on the table. So you just admitting that you, oh wow,
Yeah.
Yeah, he just
nobody's
admitted
gonna
what
check this
everybody
man.
else knew.
Nick's fans
Nobody's
been
gonna
playing.
check this man. There go Tony, he's back.
I'm back. I'm sorry, guys. Worst episode ever.
It's
Nah,
all
Ah,
man, you
good, man.
good.
you
You
good,
good.
buddy? You pop in
So
and give us
so
your
wait,
insight and pop out.
I'm gonna watch the episode, Bubba, and I'm gonna make sure I write down everything that you say is smart.
Man.
Well, all I can say
Oh
is,
God.
Bubba, you asked for the listen, you asked for the smoke, so, so there you go. Hey, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. So yeah, we talked about the depth chart, talked about our impact players on both sides of the field. Let's talk about this Mercer game this Saturday. And we just mentioned, will we be mad if Mercer scores, over 10 points or gets 10 points? I just want to know everybody's prediction. We going into this the first game of the season. Last year, we beat the brakes off of Akron. That was a big game for us. And I honestly want to know, because I think with everybody last year, we got super excited about the win. And then we after that, like, we didn't really kind of like, I don't know if we really like looked at stuff. So are y'all gonna get excited when it's Auburn like beat the brakes off when they beat the brakes off of Mercer? Or are we all kind of
And
gonna be a
I
little
need a,
disappointed?
yes, I need a thrashing. I want to see a thrashing. But it's the way. But I need it to look. I need it to look like a thrashing though. I need the offense to be clicking. I don't need 2 punt returns, 2 kick returns, a pick six, a fumble return for it. I don't need it like that. I need it to look impressive in through all three phases. I need Tank to be and Jarquez to both have touchdowns and big yards per carry. I need Finley to have touchdowns and big chunk plays and his accuracy not be questioned. I need him to be upright. I don't need him to be sacked 2, 3, 4 times. None of that. I want it to look like we're playing Mercer and they are playing Auburn at Jordan Hare.
Yeah. I can see where you need that. I can see where every Auburn fan needs that, especially after the off season we've had. But I'm going into this season with low expectations and high hopes.
The thing is, with these first two games, this is not Akron and Alabama State. Both of these teams would kick the shit out of Akron and Alabama State. These are two much more talented teams than those teams. Mercer, although we should blow Mercer out by a lot, but I think what's going to happen is we're going to come out and we're going to start out slow. And as the game goes on, it gets picked up. Like at the end of the first quarter, it'll probably be Auburn 21-7. And then TJ picks it up second quarter. We in the second quarter with 40 points. Robbie comes in, finishes it out, and we win probably about 55-60 to 21 or something like that. But the way that
he's talking about 21 points in the first quarter being slow. I'm trying to figure out.
They average like 150 pounds on the defensive line.
I'm trying to figure out where that's slow.
Well, I mean, we're probably going to get 5 possessions with only 3 scores against the FCS team. That's not great.
Okay.
We should come out.
I can kind of see where he's coming from because I mean, you can see. I guess they're not a like you said a FBS school, so when you only have 21 points at halftime. Yeah, that's kind of just like with the Alabama State game where it was up 20-0. I was like, bro, like y'all should be up like 34-0. Like, why are y'all?
It need to be 21-0 or more at the end of the first quarter. It need to be 21-0. Hey, I need to see points every time we get the ball. When all them starters in there. Honest.
It'll be 21-7, but it won't look like 21-7. We'll be very sloppy. Because that's how we start every year.
If I can take a quiet 21 points a quarter, I take it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 21-7 against Mercer is going to be 35. We're going to get 35 zip by LSU. We're not going to play well.
Yeah, I think if we can just come out the gate like that swinging, like start running the ball. I just want to see TJ. I want him to just start off consistent. Like, don't be.
I want to see why he was QB1.
Yes, exactly. I want to see why he was QB1. I want to see the consistency. In fact, I need to at least see over 200 yards in this game. I think
have over 70%.
I need to have that at halftime.
I want to see why he was QB1 and it not be that, he was just the best we had on the roster.
Yeah, I don't think TJ won by default. I think he's every bit as good as everybody else throwing the football, but he got it.
But ain't that how everybody wins their position by being the best we had on the roster?
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, man. You know, I don't want him to win the position because he was the best junior college talent we had.
No, don't tell me he won because he knew the offense the best or he was the most experienced. Now, if you tell me he's the best we got, then let's roll with the best we got. But don't tell me he won the offense.
I don't want him to be the best of the worst.
What it is Calzada probably has the best arm talent. And Robbie's a way better athlete, but what TJ has is he is pretty good as far as throwing the football, and he's decently mobile, but he can run the offense to perfection.
Hey,
he can kill. The moment's never going to be too big, and he got it between the ears.
Calzada might be workout warrior because he ain't even the backup quarterback.
No. He's running the scout team right now.
I'm holding the clipboard. You gonna be
No, he ain't even holding the clipboard. Robbie's holding the clipboard. He's behind the guy holding the clipboard. He's backup clipboard guy.
That's what I'm saying. He ain't even the backup. So
placeholder for the kicker.
he might need to find him another school.
And that's so crazy. He came in. It was kind of expected that he was gonna be a quarterback, starting quarterback. But hey, the fall camp said otherwise.
Oh God, it was horrible.
He was brought here to be the starter.
Everybody crowned him because he was on the team that beat Alabama. That's all that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was brought here to be the starter.
He was quote unquote the Harsin guy. No, the hell he wasn't.
I don't know. I don't know if he ever healed or what. I don't know what's going on.
But it wasn't even his throwing shoulder though. It was his other shoulder. It was his left shoulder that was the problem. I think he came in and he expected the job. He expected it to be handed to him, and Harsin doesn't do that. With Harsin, you're going to earn every rep you get, and TJ worked the hardest. He got himself better. He was in the film room. He was working on his mechanics. And I don't expect him to come in and be Cam Newton, but he's just got to be Sean White. He ain't got to be great. He's just got to do the job.
He got to be better.
White. He got to be better. I say he at least got to be Jason Campbell.
He got to be better than Sean White.
Sean White was a good quarterback, man. Sean White was good. He did his job. He handed the ball to Cam Petway perfectly.
I wouldn't call him a good quarterback. You remember that?
He was the best on the roster.
He was way better than Jeremy Johnson.
He was way better than John Franklin III.
And he was running Gus's offense.
He was the tallest midget. Now look, he was the tallest midget, but you called him good. So don't do TJ like that, then.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
I said TJ at least got to be. And it really ain't hard for him to just, because I was thinking about this earlier. Jason Campbell wasn't the flashiest quarterback Auburn ever had.
No.
But when it came down to completion percentage and being consistent, this man had 70% completion, and he was consistent.
Al Borges was a godsend for Jason Campbell.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's the only problem. But Campbell left, Borges' offense left with him.
Mm-hmm. We did have Brandon Cox, who wasn't bad, but he wasn't Jason Campbell.
But
he wasn't good either.
Brandon Cox used to get us the wins.
He got us some good wins now.
Brandon Cox used to get the wins, baby. And, there was some dog. There was some LSU teams with some dog. Them was Bama teams with some dog. And he was getting the Georgia team had them some bad defense. That boy used to get knocked from here to Kingdom Come, and he get up and he do it again.
But you got to be tough in the ACC.
He was tough. He may not have been out there, but he was tough.
He was
tough. Hey, he'll throw a timely pass, boy. He'll get you a third down, a 3rd and 12. You wouldn't believe he would go get. If somehow he'll stand in that pocket and deliver a strike across that middle, they damn near killed him for it. But he put it in there.
Yeah, you're right.
He never flinched.
You're right.
Yeah. Well, hey, when we talked about the Murphy game,
I can't dish you when you're right. I can't argue with you. I need you to be wrong so I can argue with you.
It's like, man, with TJ, everybody's counting him out, and everybody keeps forgetting that quarterbacks can improve because 9 out of the last 11 years we've had Gus Malzahn developing our quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And we've never had a quarterback get better. But Bryan Harsin was brought in to develop quarterbacks. So let's see if he can develop this quarterback. I mean, he was a dumpster fire last year.
How you doing?
But
him develop the quarterback. I totally agree with you on that. My whole thing is, if we can just get, like I said, I keep preaching this consistency. I don't necessarily
the ceiling of this quarterback don't matter.
Yeah. I don't
about the
necessarily.
floor.
I don't have to have a Bryce Young if he can just run the offense and not turn the ball over and play his job, do his job. Make sure when he ain't turning causing the game, man, I'm good with it.
Hey
I'm
man,
good.
you can give me a Will Rogers at quarterback, baby. Just throw it when you throw it to who you're supposed to throw it to, and not
Yeah.
the other
Man,
team.
I'll take Will Rogers. Will Rogers does his damn job, man. He does it good
Well,
too.
Rogers is the one underrated quarterback. I'm just gonna put it that way because
He
he
put
don't
in
he's
that
not
Uh,
a
passage
dog.
last year.
He
I'm gonna mess everybody up right here. Stetson Bennett won national championship.
Yeah, you don't need
true.
no Heisman quarterback. A little
True.
5'11" white walk-on baseball player went out there and won a national championship. Tiny little dude, about Sean White size, won a national championship.
And was getting hit. I mean, was getting hit. Won a national
Yeah.
championship. He still got the
I think
starting job.
I think TJ's gonna shock. I think TJ's gonna shock some people, man. Well, he's gonna shock everybody because
Yeah.
nobody even really wanted him to be the quarterback in the first place. Everybody just knew
Uh,
somebody else was gonna be the quarterback. And whether it was Robbie Ashford or it was Calzada, I didn't even want to. After the season was over, I didn't want TJ to
if
be the
it was
quarterback.
Holden Garnier, or if
Yeah,
it
So
was the man that sat in section U, row 17, the third seat,
you know what I'm saying? So
I thought TJ
I
was
don't
gonna
care.
transfer. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I ain't
I was
man,
hoping.
After
but
that
I
spring
mean,
game, he was.
I think he's gonna shock some
As
people,
the
man.
spring game, he was throwing passes to me.
I believe, yeah, I know, right? I believe in Harson's. You know, I believe it's his eye for talent and his development of quarterbacks. And if TJ's the best thing we got smoking out there, I think he's gonna be all right. I think he's gonna shock some people. I hope so anyway.
And at the end of the day, all he is a bridge quarterback to Holden. Whenever Holden's done developing, he is the guy to be the quarterback while Holden develops or Robbie Ashford develops. Because Robbie Ashford,
And
that dude's
Robbie
got
Ashford
crazy
beast,
talent.
man.
If he could just get it all together, that kid's got crazy talent. He showed it in the spring game.
Yeah, he's got
TJ
yeah
is the
yeah
middleman.
yeah. TJ ain't got long.
Oh no.
No.
No, he might have this year.
Well, he ain't gonna make it to the NFL anyway. So what does it matter? I mean, he's happy he's got the job he got.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
happy
he might
for
make
him.
it to the NFL. He might.
Yeah,
He seems
he
like a
was
good
counted
kid.
out, completely
They
counted
all
out.
say he's a great leader.
A phenomenal
Yeah.
locker room guy. That's
Yeah.
what he is. And he's got the backing of the entire locker room behind him. Those
That's
those
all you
dudes will
need.
fight for TJ.
That's all you need. All right, y'all. We're gonna keep it moving. So now we're gonna talk about the Mercer game. We're gonna talk about the quarterbacks. And let's talk about this season, of what our expectations are as far as our predictions for the season. There you all see it. There go the schedule right there. Um, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna let y'all get y'all predictions, and I'm gonna go last. So whoever want to jump in and go first on the predictions for this season, feel free. Go right ahead. The floor is yours.
Go ahead, Tony.
Well, I started off since I missed most of the show anyway.
Come on
Uh,
with it, Tony.
looking at this schedule, man. Uh, with road games in Athens, road game in Tuscaloosa.
Ain't
Uh,
nobody worried
I
about Tuscaloosa.
I'm just looking, man, and we got to go to the Mississippi's. Ooh, that's tough, man. But we get Arky at home, we get LSU at home, we get A&M at home. A&M kind of broke the road streak where usually the away team wins. They broke that last year when they beat us. Um, but that's okay. I think we can get if we can get the consistent quarterback play, if we can get better than average offensive line play. I like to say we could go 10-2. Uh, I say we lose in Athens and maybe one of the Mississippi's because that's just a tough road to hoe, you know. Because I think we played Georgia and Mississippi back to back, and then we got Arkansas, and then we go. Yeah, so we got
LSU, Georgia, and Ole Miss back to back to
yeah.
back.
We have LSU, Georgia, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Mississippi State, and A&M back to back to back to back to back. So it's gonna be rough, and so it'll probably be hard to go through that gauntlet unscathed.
They
So
little brothers the shit out of us on that one.
yeah, man. So I'm looking at best 10-2. At worst, at worst, I'm thinking no less than 8-4. Anything less than that, Harson's probably gonna have to find him another job.
Yeah.
So yeah, 10-2 at best, and at worst, I'm hoping 8-4. Anything less is uncivilized.
What I expect 8-4 because we are better. We're either greater than or just as good as 10 of these teams.
All right, tell us which ones.
We're every bit as good as every team except for Georgia and Alabama. So what I expect is 8-4. That's my expectation. I think we drop one of the Mississippi games. I think we drop the Iron Bowl and the Deep South Soldiers rivalry, and we probably lose another one in there somehow. So I expect 8-4, but at best I could see us winning, like Tony said, 10 or 11 games. And at worst, I mean, it's like 4-8. I shoot it straight. But I expect us to go 8-4 with losses to probably Ole Miss, Bama, Georgia, and Arkansas. Unfortunately.
Damn, boy,
but I think we start 5-0.
You're going to put us on a 3-game
Look at the
losing
schedule, man.
Well, I'm not as ambitious as Bubba. But I mean, we go into the Penn State game at home 2-0. Harsin has to win that game.
We have to.
He has to. After the shit show we had in Happy Valley at the end of last year's game, he's got to win that one. And then what we got? Who? Missouri?
Yeah.
LSU. We should go into Georgia 5-0,
unscathed completely.
Just like last year, we should start the season. Well, what did we start the season last year? 5-1,
4-1,
4-1. We should go into Georgia 5-1. It should be a ranked. 5-0. It should be a ranked matchup, which therefore puts it at a Thursday night game in Athens
with Harsin to come out there and give him everything he's got.
And if you got a team that plays like we played in the Iron Bowl last year, playing in Athens with the 37 first-round picks they just lost, we got a chance. And that's all you're asking for.
Go out there and
give me a chance.
Punch Kirby Smart right in the mouth. Boom. But that is Harsin's make it or break it moment right there, ain't it?
Yeah, it has to be. But
well thought game.
Man, I mean, they didn't do us no damn favors with this schedule. I know they moved the Georgia game back so we wouldn't play in Georgia, Cupcake, Alabama.
Yeah.
But, oh, my Lord.
What is this? Georgia, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Texas A&M. That's 5 teams that could be undefeated.
That's 5 teams that could be ranked.
Yeah, right there. We know about hard schedules here at Auburn, but damn, man.
I mean, everybody talking 8-4. I'll say the floor needs to be 7-5.
Oh yeah, floor is 7-5. Anything less than that,
I'm expecting 9 wins.
You expect 9 wins?
I expect 9 wins, but I'm anything happen, man. It's college football.
We could have 2004, like me and Courtney were talking about earlier. 2004 season, we could have it right here. I mean, Jason Campbell was counted out. His first 3 years were not great. He came out, had a very good season. The two best running backs in college football that year.
At that time.
I mean, we could run this off 12-0, 11-1, but I expect us to go about 8-4.
Yeah.
How about you, Courtney?
All right, so I got
to go to bed.
All right.
I got
old man going out real quick. If I don't make it back, we'll see y'all next time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for being on, old man. So I got it as I got the worst, likely, and then best. So the worst, I would say 75. Um, just looking at the schedule, we should at least go 75. That's the worst. The likely, probably 8-4, and I would say over expectations would be 9-3, 10-2. Now I'm pushing for the over expectations more. So when you look at this schedule, and it's possible. You got Mercer, San Jose State. I think those are gonna be wins that we can get easily. Penn State is gonna be tough, but I think Auburn handles them decisively because one, Penn State got to come into that heat, that Lee County heat, and they ain't no joke. They ain't never seen nothing like this. In fact, I'm
Yep.
watching the Penn State game right now, and they playing in Purdue, and it's probably cool. But you in a 90-degree weather
Mhm.
in September at 2:30, you can't prepare for that. And these guys
Nope.
still
Ain't no
remember that
whiteout
game.
for them this year either.
Ain't no white
They ain't
out.
got that crowd either.
Hey, you just man to man. We about to bring you
No
get this
John
smoke.
Dotson this year. Mm.
Mm-mm. The running back went to LSU, so you about to get this smoke,
Yep. And
Penn
they.
State.
Oh yeah. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't run the ball either last year either. Either way.
Yep.
They.
Nope.
So you saying 9-3, 10-2?
Yeah, 9-3, 10-2. I think we get Missouri, LSU. I think it's more questions with LSU than it does us. I mean, with us. So I think we get LSU. Uh, the Georgia game is interesting because what people don't realize is Georgia. Yes, they were dominant, but they got to replace a lot of starters, and they got to kind of solely lean on that offense. I don't see a lot of special players on that offense like I did on that defense, and even last year on the offense. So Georgia, I would not. I'm telling y'all right now, I would not be surprised if Auburn beat Georgia in Athens. Is Auburn can keep that,
No.
especially if Auburn can keep that as a low scoring game. If they don't give Georgia control of the game, is that game is very low scoring, and it's like that Alabama game, and you don't have a quarterback like Bryce Young. You got Stetson Bennett, who is not completely not on the same level. Is that is
Uh-uh.
the same result? Georgia gonna get that smoke. So I'm just saying it right here. They might get them. They might get the smoke. Um, Ole Miss, I think that's a win for us. Arkansas, I think Arkansas just can't get over 2 years ago after
After
that
fumble.
that fumble that both Knicks made that we got lean on the outside. I don't think they could. I still think they shook off of that. Mississippi State, they gonna get that smoke because of how that game went. I think all those players had that game circled, that Mississippi State game circled. Um, just because of how it went, how we lost that game after being up by 25 points. I think Derek Hall and that defense, they remember. So I think Mike Leach, Will Rogers, I don't think they gonna. I think it's gonna be a rough day. Texas A&M is gonna be an interesting one too because you just don't know what Jimbo Fisher gonna put on the field. He could have a very good team, and then he could not. So I'm kind of iffy about the Texas A&M game because Jimbo Fisher could have good teams, and then sometimes he don't have good teams. The last time they did come and play in Auburn, um, that game Auburn should have won that game. It was just a couple of plays that um, kind of just went their way, especially like the interception that Smoke Monday was supposed to catch. That should have been game sealing and it went into Watermeyer's hand. You know, that game can go either way. So I'm kind of iffy on the
Yeah.
Texas A&M game. Picking that one. West Kentucky win. Be careful. Now I will say this: be careful about West Kentucky because they do have a high power offense. So they do
Oh
like
yeah.
to score a lot of points. So that's one that Auburn, yeah, I believe they will win that game, but that's one game that I wouldn't be surprised if West Kentucky come in there ready to play. So that's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be a
got trap game written all over it.
trap game written
That's a
all over.
trap game right there.
Yeah, very very much a trap game. And then, of course,
Who's before Western Kentucky?
Texas A&M,
And who's after Western Kentucky?
Alabama.
Shit.
Yeah. So, it that final game, of course, it's Alabama. We know we did against them last year. Um, I don't think I'll put it this way. I don't think that Auburn will get blown out like we have in the past in revenge games when we go to
No.
Tuscaloosa with Gus Malzahn. I don't think that Bryan Harsin is gonna bring them boys in there just to get they a whoop real bad. But it's gonna be tough. Because I mean that Alabama team has improved. I'm still iffy about their offensive line. I feel very questionable about what they're gonna have on offensive line. But that's another one. You really don't know until you see the product on the field, and it could go the other way. Uh, but I think they might get I feel a little bit less confident in the Alabama game than I do the Georgia game. Just because
Yeah.
of the experience they have on offense and just the playmakers they do have. But I think we do.
And the
I think it
quarterback.
is possible we can get 9-3 uh, for the season, even 10-2. With the questionable games being Alabama, Texas, and them for me. But we could even run the table. I wouldn't be surprised because, like I said, this team is very well built and is very underestimated at right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we run the table too.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree with you, man. I'm with you. If everything works like it should, if it clicks in, man, and we can get the play that we think we can get play, because we we had a good chance of winning every game that we lost last year, except for Georgia.
Right.
And so if you just go into the mindset with where we were, and if we can just be better than what we were last year, if you know what I'm saying, if we just got a little stronger, a little faster, you know what I'm saying, a little quicker, a little tougher, a little smarter, then we should be able to turn those L's into W's, and then we might can make the best of the close ones. You know what I mean? That's what Harsin and those guys got to do their job in the close ones.
Right. Right. And I like what I'm hearing. Uh, Cadillac said that these guys have bought in. And I'm liking what I'm hearing. TJ went up to the podium and straight up said, "Hey, I'm here to win SEC championships and national championships." When you have
Yeah,
that
he seems a lot more
mindset,
confident.
when you have that confident mindset, it goes a long way for your team. So I think they have the right mindset because I mean we've all seen it with some Auburn teams. They've gone in the season and you can just kind of tell, yeah, they're not really confident. But this
Nope.
team, it feels like they're built a little bit different. Uh,
You know
they
why?
feel
Because
like they
they're taking on the identity of the head coach.
exactly
Yeah.
Harsin is straight to the point. No, excuse my language. No quitting and saved over there. He going straight to heaven.
Yeah.
I got to get a pass. But uh, he's straight. No bullshit. You know what I mean? When I met Jason
Yep.
Jones during the summer, and I asked him his impressions of Harsin, he said that's why he and Robbie both chose Auburn. He was like, because Gus wasn't there and Harsin was. And he was like, he's straight up, no, straight, no chaser, right to the point. He ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. He gonna be straight up with you, and they respect that.
which they
Yeah, if he's
should.
an old school type head coach, then that's what Auburn needs. Gus seemed like he
Exactly.
didn't really have no backbone. So you
Gus
have
was
to
a
have
high
a
school
coach.
coach. Gus was a high school coach coaching college football. And so he treated those guys, kind of like he did his high school boy. He had his favorite. You can do a little bit of this, you can do a little bit of that. But that's UFC, that's UCF's problem now.
Yep.
Yep. He
All
can
right.
win in group of five football. He can't win in no power five football though.
Hey man, don't do that, man. Gus took us to a national championship, man. I ain't like that now. Don't do him like that.
Respect.
But
I
I'm wishing it the
respect the
best,
Gus.
but I ain't no believer.
Respect the Gus. But hey, he at USC, so that's their problem, like you said. Before we go, I just got one that final thing to ask. We gotta ask because it's been on everybody's mind. Will Coach Harsin keep his job by the end of the season? We'll end with this. Bubba, what you think?
God, I hope so. Man, I hope so. He's the right man for the job. But you don't win 8 games, he's not keeping his job.
Yeah, you heard me, man. Anything under 8, he's out of here. Because
Yeah.
that gives them ammunition to say, hey, we're not going in the right direction. You know, we just treading water.
Yep, I agree.
Yep.
Anything under 8, we're gonna be back in the same
Then we're
position.
stuck with Hugh Freeze.
Hey, you could be stuck with a lot worse.
Could be Kevin Seal.
Oh yeah. Oh God. God,
He
please.
turned-
He'll die halfway through the first season. What's he? 80 years old?
Hey, all I know is Hugh Freeze took Malik Willis from a guy who couldn't get on the field to an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, these
Offensive
offensive
guard
lines are
NFL
always
quarterback.
terrible.
Give
I mean,
me
he
a
can develop a quarterback. But, I mean,
give me that type of coach.
y'all see Malik Willis in the preseason though?
Yeah,
He's running around
He
like
didn't
crazy out
he
there.
ain't been looking too bad. He actually been looking pretty good in the
You know what I'm
preseason.
saying? Looking pretty good.
He been
A
looking
little
pretty
bit of
good.
coaching, he'll be.
Ryan Tannehill better watch out. He got some competition
Oh, yeah.
coming for his spot. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, hey, listen, we thank y'all for listening to another episode of C&T Talking Tigers. Y'all see the sticker down below. Continue to follow us on Instagram and on Twitter, C&T Talking Tigers, and make sure y'all support our friends, our kinfolk, Bubba and the Old Man. They're on YouTube and also on Instagram. Hey, Bubba, hey, how can they connect with y'all? You let them know. I want to give you a chance to shoot out your plug, man, so people can stay connected with you all too.
Just Bubba and the Old Man on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Just type in Bubba and the Old Man, and we're right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, hold on. We had one comment here. I don't want to not. Oh, we got somebody. AU Tiger blogging. What's up? What's up, fellas? War Eagle. I have confidence in Coach Harsin. That's all right. So do we.
So do we. You blogging? What's up, man? Glad you checking us out, man. Glad you enjoying the show. Keep it up, man. We will be checking you out too, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, without further ado, we appreciate everybody for coming out to join with us for this first game of this preview for the first game of the season. There you go. You hear the music.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all support. Technical difficulties.
Tony will be back in regular format on next week.
Back is better than ever next week, baby.
Hey, we appreciate y'all so much. Y'all be blessed out here. Be safe. And it's good here. Hey, War Eagle.
Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night. War Eagle, baby.